Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed.
The world has changed so very much from what it used to be.
Period.
Welcome back, everybody. We're back again with another episode of the Lindsays podcast. Your host, the Lindsays. My name's TJ Lindsay. This is my beautiful wife.
Ty Lindsay.
And we're back again to give y'all another episode and just gonna do some more marriage talk. We got a lot of things that we've been working on. We told y'all last time that we're working on this marriage workshop, which will be for people that are in relationships, also for married couples, But we also have a pretty big event coming up as well on Thanksgiving. You want to tell them about that event, baby?
Yes, I will. So this will be our 5th year. TJ and I have decided that, well, not have decided. We've been doing this year 5. We actually dedicate our Thanksgiving to serving and giving back to the community here in Columbus. So what we'll do is on Thanksgiving Day, we'll take the time out to cook a home cooked meal. We'll package all of that, and then we'll just drive around the city and we'll serve the homeless population by giving them a dinner. So this year we're actually doing something different because we do this out of our own pocket. We do all of this at home. We pay for everything. So this year we just decided that we would ask you all who are our supporters for any kind of donations. That can be dishware, silverware. I think the size we're doing this year is green beans. We would prefer like the fresh green beans more so over like the canned ones.
Absolutely. We don't want to short the we don't short the homeless people.
Yeah, we don't.
We
We
try
really
to
take
give
our
them.
time to feed them really, really good. We do.
Yeah.
We do. Well, yeah, green beans, macaroni, just the noodles, Jiffy cornbread, and what else are we doing this year? Dinner rolls.
Even like the containers.
Yeah.
Yeah, silverware containers.
Yeah.
Cornbread. You already said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jiffy cornbread. Yeah.
We never do dessert. So if you are somebody that bakes or a baker that would love to donate in any kind of way, let us know. And of course, we'll include our contact information. Let you guys know how to get in contact with us. Also, anyone who is willing to come out with us and serve, we always need the help. Last year we was like, man, this is a lot. So we always just need the extra help, however you see fit.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be Thanksgiving. We'll have all the details in the video, and also we'll do some posts. We're starting this new Instagram channel, which will be specifically for this show, where we're able to share more about this show, clips and all kinds of stuff. But stay tuned for that. But yeah, Thanksgiving's coming up. Be sure to donate. We definitely appreciate everything that anybody does. And if you do want to come out, like you said, let's do it. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's do something. Let's do something for the community. That's always on our minds and on our hearts. So
yes,
for sure.
Yes.
But so today's episode, we've been looking at some different things, some different topics to share with you guys. And, of course, we look around the internet. We try to find relevant stuff that'll that'll pique people's interest. And this week we landed on the topic of growing together versus growing apart.
Yes.
And we think that that's very important in a relationship because there's often times in your relationship where you may be going in just two different directions. And we feel like a lot of couples don't make it through that season where both of you are just in different seasons of life, or would you choose to stick around, or do you choose to leave?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one example, so recently some of our friends, this is just a small example, they sent us this show on Netflix called Forever.
Yeah.
And it's about this high school couple who they go through high school, they're together, but then they get to the end of high school and they both have different goals with their life. One wants to go to college, the other one wants to do music, and they decide to break up. And we feel like in a lot of relationships, sometimes it's the man, sometimes it's the woman, sometimes they don't make it through those seasons where one may be growing and the other one, well, not saying that they're both not growing, but in different areas
Yeah.
is what we're saying. So
Yeah.
we found out, you know what I'm saying? We got that topic and it sounded really, really relevant to what we would like to talk about because it fits our situation. And
Yeah.
I know it could help some people out there with their relationship. So
Yeah.
you got any thoughts so far, baby, on that?
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what you were saying. So one, I would definitely stress that you are keeping God first in the whole, relationship aspect, because you never want to be in a situation where you are pursuing something that wasn't ordained, by God. So make sure you always. It sounds so cliche, but it's very important. But yeah, just to piggyback off of what you were saying, like some people you get into, you don't necessarily understand that though you and your significant other or your spouse, you guys are together, and like TJ was saying, we have different seasons. So I can think of plenty of times where TJ was like on the up and up, everything was falling into place for him, where I was just kind of sitting back like, well, what do I do next? However, though, being his wife, being his helper, and just pushing him through it and supporting him through it as well. That doesn't mean that because he's in a season of blessings, right? That doesn't mean that I then decide, okay, well, I'm gonna just walk away. Like that even sounds crazy with me saying it now. It doesn't mean that you do that. There's always there's reasons for seasons. That's also in scripture as well.
But there are seasons like in let's look at even in different types of relationships like
Yeah.
friendships
Yeah.
where one friend may be in a different season of life or growing and another friend may feel like they don't fit in this season
Yeah.
with that friend. So this doesn't just stay in a relationship boundary. You can see it in multiple different types of relationships, but particularly what we want to talk about is within relationships because that's where
Yeah.
we see it the most, where people will end up splitting up because of that separation. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off.
No,
Go ahead.
you're okay. You're okay. I think a lot of times women in particular, I can't really speak on men because I'm not a male, of course, but women, I think that when we lock into a marriage or a relationship where we're desiring marriage, where you're going to marry this person, we we lose sight of identity. And I think a lot of times we are we're like uber fixated on marriage and that's we wrap our identity in just being a wife, but you're so much more than a wife. Like you just because you're married, that doesn't mean that life stops for you individually. And I think that's where there's a disconnect or a lack of understanding there. Just because you're married, that doesn't mean that you don't have your own separate life. Like TJ has his own friends. I have my own friends. TJ does his own thing. He has his own hobbies. I have my own thing, my own hobbies. And we come together, we share those things. We talk to each other about those things and we let each other be individuals, but while being married.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's I think a lot of people have the perception with like when you get into a relationship or you get into a marriage that once you're together that your own personal battles stop or
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
your own personal goals
Mm-hmm.
stop because you're now in the marriage and it's
Yeah.
all about both of y'all, and that is true, but we like to compare it to like in a game of basketball. So let's say we're a team. If we're on a team, let's say I might be the big man, she might be a guard, I still got to rebound, I have to win my rebounding matchup. I have my own game within the game that I have to win, that I have to play in order
Yeah.
for the team to win. And depending on how well I do in my matchup is how well the team will do in the grand scheme of things. So I think in a relationship, instead of seeing it as something to where, and you don't want to totally individualize it either. So the opposite side of that is I got mine. You know what I'm saying? Why
Yeah.
ain't you get
Yeah.
yours? You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
we
That's
losing
good.
because of you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Instead of we have to come together because
Yeah.
sometimes on a team I might have to pick up your slack.
Yep. Yeah.
There's times where I'm meant to rebound, but I might have to go get 20 tonight. And in a relationship, sometimes I got to get 20. Sometimes Ty got to get 20. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Sometimes Ty got to go get 40, and I got it, and I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I might foul out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just the way that the
Yeah.
game is played. So the
Yeah.
game within the game that never stops, your own goals, your own ambitions, your own personal battles, your trauma,
Mm-hmm.
you always fighting that and you always looking for a resolution to your personal problems within the relationship. So that never stops.
Yeah.
But the better you do within that context, the better the relationship will do.
Yeah.
And don't ever make a long-term decision on a temporary feeling that you might feel because of that. So
Yeah.
I'm got this water.
Well, yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
You were talking about like feelings and stuff like that. I think a lot
Yeah.
of times in society, there's a lack of understanding that sometimes we get into these relationships and we expect for our significant other, our spouse, to, I don't know, make us feel whole or complete, or give you the responsibility of making me happy because I'm unhappy. So now that I have decided to get with you and become your wife or, whatnot, now you're completely responsible for making me happy. And I think we go wrong there, because it doesn't matter. Like with the spouse, without a spouse, like you have to do the work.
Go in, go in. Go,
Like
go deeper on that. Go deeper on
no
that.
one is
We need to go deep on that
responsible.
one.
Like ultimately you are responsible for your happiness. You having a person or you having that marriage, that's a plus, of course, to add to that happiness, but you have to do the work. It doesn't, like, it doesn't matter if you're with someone or not. Like you have to do that work.
Yeah.
Like you're responsible for your happiness at the end of the day. You can't, it's, to me, look at it this way. I think, imagine me coming to you, and you could do this with any kind of relationship. Imagine me coming to you as a friend. We decide to build this friendship, and now I tell you that you are you're fully responsible for making me happy. You're gonna look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And we do that a lot in relationships. And I think when we do that, we just we tarnish the relationship, and we don't have to do that. Like you have to do the work. Like it doesn't matter. You're always going to have to do the work. And it's just a plus to have someone alongside with you, to love you through it. But you are responsible.
And sometimes
Yeah.
you'll play the blame game. So it could be something not going right in my life, and instead of me leaning into it and trying to correct it, I'll be like, if Ty wasn't, you know, and that's just the way that,
Yeah.
yeah, relation again, growing together versus growing apart. When you're trying to grow together, you have to leave the blame behind and take accountability, in the situation. So, but there's always seasons like when you may, like, I'll give you a good example. Me and Ty, during our relationship, we've had seasons where there's a season, like she said, there's a season when I'm doing well or when I'm thriving, and there's seasons where she's thriving, and I'm,
Yeah.
I'm supporting her.
Yeah.
And you got to know when to. Again, another basketball reference. I'm ex basketball player. You got to get a ball to the person that got the hot hand.
Yeah.
If she got
Yeah.
the hot hand, if Ty just came off, she just hit 3 shots in a row. I don't want to come down and say it's my turn to shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like people do that a lot in
Yeah.
relationships. They make it about, and it is about you, but they make it the relationship about them instead of making their personal matchup, their personal battles about them.
Yeah. So they kind of they get that mixed up there.
And you got to understand that you grow sometimes. Like sometimes, like your partner can go through changes. As a relationship progresses, we both change. Like she said, we go through different seasons of life. So that's another, that's another thing to think about, and that kind of leads us to
The identity,
yeah,
identity, and us.
maintaining your identity in a relationship. Because I know you wanted to talk about that a little bit. Were you gonna talk about Aisha Curry, or you was gonna?
Oh yeah. So she is. I don't even mean to choose her, but she is floating around on the internet.
Yeah.
So I feel sorry for her because my heart goes out to her. It sounds like based on like the things that she talks about, it just sounds like she has no identity. Like she has no idea who she is as a woman. It just seems like she has attached and tied herself to the marriage and being the wife of Steph Curry. And that's why identity is important because you'll get into that marriage. Like I said earlier, you'll get into the marriage and then you'll wrap your identity in that. And then it's hard for you to enjoy the benefits of marriage. It's hard for you to enjoy this person around now because you are somewhere lost, lost, not understanding who you are, not understanding your purpose. And in her situation, I think they got married super duper early on.
Yeah.
She was young. She was young. I'm not nothing against getting married like that, but I do think it's important for you to continue to work on yourself and have goals for yourself despite who your partner is or just because she says stuff like everybody knows Steph and everybody this and everybody that. It's like, what about little old me? And it's just like, girl, what about you? Go figure it out. Like, I don't mean to say it sound harsh, but go figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure out who you are. Expand, branch out, take a leap of faith.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So how does motherhood affect your process of how does it affect your identity? Because it kind of changes you in a whole different way than what a man would really understand. Because that's something that I felt like where I
Yeah.
could level set with Aisha there, but you coming from your perspective, how do you find your identity in going through after having children?
That's a good question. I would say for me personally, and you'll probably agree to this, like I struggle with the idea of being a mom. I don't think a lot of women are willing to be honest in saying that. But some women, it just, they always wanted to be mothers. Like in my case, I don't know. I didn't grow up and say, "Oh, I want to have this many children," or I want, I didn't start thinking about having children until you and I got together, honestly. So for me, at first, it was hard. It was very difficult for me to figure out okay, where do I go from here? What do I do now? I mean, I just understood that I was a mom, and with my idea of what a mom is, I'm going to be the best mother that I can be. But that doesn't still, and that goes back to what I was saying, you are still responsible. I still have to put the work in. Like I can't just be a mom and a wife, and then there's just no tie. Like what would you know? What would you love about me if I just, you know what I'm saying? What kind of attributes or characteristics would you be able to be like, well, my wife does this and she does that if I just totally wrap my identity in just being attached to you and what you got going on. That it would be hard for you to do that. Same thing with the kids. I
Yeah.
can't imagine Asada or Ezra growing up and saying, "Well, I don't really know my mom to be anything other than mom." I don't think that sounds crazy what I'm saying, but if you
Yeah.
pay attention to what I'm saying, I think that that's not fair. It's not even fair to your kids. It's not fair to yourself. Like my mom, there's so many characteristics I can say about her other than her just being a mom.
Yeah.
Like who she is as an individual. Outside of Mama Tammy, who she absolutely is
Shout out
individually.
Mama Tammy, by the way.
Yes, that's my
Shout out
girl.
Mama Tammy, by the way.
So for me, you just keep going. You keep going, and of course, you know me. I'm always include God and all of that, but you keep going. You owe it to yourself to keep going.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think that women will get caught up in, oh, I'm doing this for the kids, or I'm gonna do this for my kids. I'm gonna do that for my kids, and I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing. In my opinion, different strokes for different folks because you'll find yourself trying to do said things for your kids, but is that really bringing you happiness? Is that really going to make you a better person? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, that brings up a whole different layer to the
Yeah.
conversation is how do you maintain your identity with your kids as
Yeah.
well? Because that's something totally different. And I feel like as far as like with women, I feel like that's y'all biggest struggle is finding yourself through like through that. But in people in general, we can actually put this on the same plate when you look in that mirror and you don't recognize, you know what I'm saying, who you've become almost. And I often bring up the this quote from the great philosopher in the movie Black Panther. She said, "Show him who you are," you know, and that's like something that I try to always lean back on, whenever I'm feeling like that, whenever I'm in that season where I'm looking in the mirror and I don't recognize myself. I try
Yeah.
to, you got to get back to that, and your children want that out of you too. That's something that you gotta know. Your
Yeah.
children want TJ. You know what I'm saying? They don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes dad is your dad cool. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I need TJ to, you know what I'm saying? Don't, what Kevin Hart, excuse my profanity on in 40-year-old version is don't be a Negro, be my nigga. You
I'm
know?
done.
That's what he said.
I'm
In
done with you.
40-year-old version. But yeah, it's just finding yourself because there's a line on a song that I wrote where I said uh I could teach them how to code on the iMac, or I could show them how to pray in the times when we slaves to ourselves, to our flesh. There's times when we're just not in our best season of life, and finding that identity. But you're gonna go through that regardless if you're in a
Yeah.
relationship or if you're not.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you're in a relationship, a lot of times the main focus of this conversation is to say that we let those things come between us and pull us apart instead of allowing them to work on us and bring us closer together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because you can be together and still have your own identity. You can be together and still have like your own individuality. Like that's just it. It works. It goes together. It does.
goes hand in
Yeah.
hand. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
good to watch your partner win in places where they once struggled at.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
progress, seeing the progress in my wife. I'm like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I see you. You know what I'm saying? Let her cook. I like that. So, like when my wife wrote her book and she got it done, I was there through the whole process.
Yeah.
Just what I'm saying, I'm cheering her on to the point to where she gets it done. It's like that's no greater feeling than to see somebody when they match up.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, she won her matchup and the team win.
Yeah.
When,
Back to what you were
when you
saying.
win, the team wins.
When
So
you win, the team wins.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. What
But
else you got?
that's pretty much all I got for the day, baby. I don't really got nothing else. That's all I got. How about you? You got something else to add? Other than your book coming out, you already know
Yeah.
you got your book coming out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We got a
We
lot of new
are.
things coming out. New book. She got a new book coming out. I can't wait to read in its entirety. She's leveled up from the first one again, winning her matchup.
Yeah.
I'm working on a book. You know what I'm saying? Her doing what she doing inspires me to go in and be like, I gotta finish my book.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. Instead of it being oh, you got a book done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more of,
Yeah.
all right, I see you. Let me get
Yeah.
mine. So
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I got going on. Just the book. We're almost there. I know I said that last time, but we're so much closer than what the last episode was. Literally, we're so much closer.
yeah,
So y'all be on the lookout for that. I can't wait for that to drop. Man, that book is crazy. Sometimes when I go back and just like look at the draft of it, it's just like, wow, I can't believe we here. We
we here.
here.
We getting
And
there.
it's gonna be some.
Audio book coming too. You already know. We
Yeah.
got a lot of get used to us. You know, get used to us. This is this season of life. Everything we done been through, and that culmination of where we are today. We will not dim our light to make others feel comfortable. This is gonna be us. We're gonna give it to y'all. We know it's needed. And R.I.P. to D'Angelo too. By the way,
Yeah,
D'Angelo
that's
died
sad.
today. Very
That's
sad.
crazy.
Very sad. D'Angelo, man.
Very sad,
Very
D'Angelo.
sad. Black Messiah, man. That album changed me in some ways. I
That is
can't lie.
crazy.
It changed the culture in some ways that people didn't even understand because a lot of people didn't even hear the album, but it reverberated throughout our community. So,
Period. So my last thing is, since we're talking about purpose and identity and all of that, I challenge you all. Okay, it might be somebody out there that says, well, how do you figure out your purpose? Who am I really? So I challenge y'all to, if we take away the accolades or the accomplishments or even the job title that you're currently in right now, if we take all of that away, how would you explain yourself to me? Do that make sense what I'm saying? So my
yeah.
answer to you would be that I'm a servant. I serve people.
Yeah.
That's literally what I do. Every job that I've ever held, I serve people. So I think that's important for you guys to understand who you are as a person. Even going in, even before the relationship,
Yeah.
like understanding who you are and
Yeah.
hold tight to that.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's identity. Having your identity established before you even get into a relationship is the best case scenario
Yeah.
because then it's not so hard to forget
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's very important. So, yeah, we just we want to promote love and encourage people to to dream big, to always believe in themselves, and to pursue love and pursue God as well.
Yeah. You got to keep the man.
Got to get that word. The word it's the instruction manual. It's gonna give you everything you need, bar for bar. It's just
Yeah.
it's there. So we've read so much of the Bible together. At this point, we just we can, if in situations in life, we can just recall points in the Bible like oh, this is that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
If you ain't in that book, get in that book.
get in that book.
You need to get in the book
Get in that book. Get in that book.
right now.
For sure. For sure.
Don't be listening to no influencers. I mean, you can listen to them, but you need to get in the word yourself.
Don't be out here talking about stuff you don't know nothing about.
Get in that book.
If you don't understand, if you ain't read the book, please keep the book out your mouth until you read it.
Respectfully.
If you're because
With love.
with love,
Yeah.
you going because yeah. Anyways, that's gonna go into a whole different topic. But you always want to be a professional in what you are a professional in, and yeah, you ain't been working on your game, it's gonna show. So
Period.
Love y'all, man. The Lindsays, we out.
What Lil Kim was doing. Bye, y'all.
We out.